came across this TikTok by Mark Manson. He's the guy that wrote the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, right? I know other people have cussed on this podcast, but I'm not gonna, I love cussing, but I'm not gonna do it on this podcast. So, but I came across this TikTok and I thought it was awesome because we had talked about this. I talked about this in one of the earlier episodes where I had mentioned people not caring about what you're doing. So I'm going to beat this drum continuously. If you're on the fence, if you're thinking about starting to create content or starting putting yourself out there, it's nerve wracking. I understand that. It's not easy. I'm starting right now too. Like, I get it. It's brutal, but put yourself at ease and realize that people don't care about what you're doing. They're not paying attention to you. So that makes that first year and a half, that first 2 years of you just pumping this stuff out there, and you're getting little nibbles, you're figuring out what works, what doesn't, you're learning where to pivot, you're doing all that stuff. It is a long process, but one of the things you don't need to worry about is you don't need to be embarrassed about the content that you're putting out there, okay? And so I wanted to show this TikTok that Mark had posted. I'm going to go ahead and share this like right now. Let's see, where is it? There that is. And then let's try this right here.
There's a concept in psychology known as the spotlight effect. Now, the spotlight effect says that we all tend to assume that people are paying far more attention to us than they actually are. Think back to the last time you got a terrible haircut. Chances are you walked around all day assuming that everybody was staring at that fucking tragedy of a mop on your head. But the reality was, most people didn't notice. And if they noticed, they sure didn't care. But the problem is, the idea by itself is not sufficient. You have to get out into the world and experience it. You have to get out and challenge your own spotlight effect. Now, does that mean you have to put on a chicken suit, walk down the Venice boardwalk? No, of course not. But it does mean you have to do something. You have to challenge yourself. You have to put yourself into public and into uncomfortable situations and prove to yourself conclusively that nobody's paying attention and nobody gives a shit.
So right there, that's great advice from the man himself who wrote the book about not giving an F about things, right?